This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised as some cases contain graphic content. We mean no disrespect to anyone we discuss in this podcast except our exes. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. However, we will be expressing our personal opinions. Buckle up, Buttercup.
Hey guys, it's Cynthia.
And I'm Wes, and this is Love and Luminol, a true crime podcast.
Yay. And we're back. All right, today we're going to go over Anita Wooldridge. Heard of that name?
I have not.
It's in Indiana.
All right.
So let's get into it.
All right, here we go.
Sorry, guys, we're out of it. Everyone's been sick, and they keep passing the different stuff around, so we've had everything we can think of. So we're still recovering. We actually missed work some last week. Been sick. Hear me sniffle, but we're on the up and up, I guess.
If you say so.
So it's like one kid gets something, pass it to the other one, and then another kid gets something different and pass it, and it just circles in our house for months.
The circle jerk of viruses.
It is. Hopefully it's at the end of it. It's getting bored with us and it'll move on. So
Anybody else want to take it from us?
Yeah, we've just been taking it for the past few days. We're not fighters anymore. So we're going to travel to Kokomo, Indiana today with this one.
All right.
Heard of it?
Way down in Kokomo.
Is it? Where is it?
Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I want to take you.
Is it north? South?
I don't
Indiana?
remember.
I don't know. Mid Indiana? We don't know. We've heard of it, but who knows? That's all I got. As far as book talk, I know it's been silent for a little bit, but tomorrow we'll go over the book that I finished that he DNF'd, did not finish.
That's 2 in a row.
2 in a row we did not finish.
Well, that I didn't. Yeah, she finished.
I finished it. He didn't.
Yeah. I
so
don't like
I'll
stupidity.
review that one. You can get his tad bit of opinion for the first 10 pages, whatever.
Yeah, it was stupid right off the bat, and I was like, nope, not going to read that.
And then we didn't draw from the jar this time. I found a horror inspired book. I don't know. Have you read any horror books?
Just that zombie one we did before.
I wouldn't call that. I don't know if this is splatterpunk. I don't think it's splatterpunk, but it's a horror genre book. So we're going to jump into that one, see if that gets him back into the groove of things. But
yeah,
the last couple's got him in a drag.
Yeah, because they were stupid.
He's like, stupid books.
You hear that, authors? On this next book talk, I'm gonna tell you your book's stupid. This one specifically, I am gonna tear you a new one. And I only got 10 pages into it, and that's how horrible it was.
Oh. So be on the lookout for that. Tomorrow we'll post that stuff. He's like, he's ready for some critiquing.
I'm ready to tear him a new one. I told you. Somebody don't know how to write a fucking book.
Oh, I don't even remember that. The book. I don't remember. I think it's a woman.
Oh, well. She don't know how to write a fucking book.
She's going to hear it from him tomorrow, so tune into that. But tonight, at 11:12 p.m., we're going to go over Anita Wooldridge in Kokomo, Indiana.
Alrighty.
So
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So she's 21 years old. It's a ripe age. You can start drinking legally.
Yeah.
That's a picture of Anita.
Okay.
Her parents were Katie Beth and Jerry. Well, that ain't who's your names.
Katie Beth and Jerry.
There's Katie Beth. And there's Jerry.
All right.
She recently graduated from college, and she used to work at a nearby gym called Celebrity Fitness Center. Never heard of that one. But we're going to jump to June 25th of 98. You already yawning.
Yep.
And just a heads up, I don't think anyone dies in this one. You got a survivor.
Well, okay.
So there you go. You're not going to be cussing at me this time.
What?
Very much.
I don't cuss at you. I cuss at the stupidity of people.
That's true. But she was helping plan
like
her...
authors.
Like authors. You know who you are. Not yet, but you will know who you are tomorrow about this time. But Anita was helping plan her best friend's wedding for that summer.
Okay.
Like I said, this was in the summer of 98, June. So, coming up soon.
When I graduated high school.
Was it? Oh, Lord.
June of 1998.
That's how you age yourself. Like counting the rings of a tree.
Yes. That old bastard on the TV right there.
Mm-hmm. You have a birthday coming up, too.
I do.
Getting older.
It's...
Guess his age.
Well, I graduated high school in 1999. They already
Unless
got
you
that.
were held back any of those grades.
I was not.
There you go. Now you know how old he is. But her doorbell rang a little before 10 a.m.
Okay.
So, ding dong. She stepped on a thumbtack that was laying on the ground on her way to open the door.
Somebody needs to clean their house.
Yeah, that's important. She stepped on a tack. Ow. Pulled it out.
Mm-hmm.
But a gentleman named Victor was at her door asking for a glass of water, and it was Victor T. Steele. Yes. There he is.
My name is Victor. Victor T. Steele.
Not really.
And I'm here for your thumbtacks and water.
He's from Virginia, and she knew him from the gym. He was a gym member.
Oh, he followed her home.
She knew he always rode his bike around because he was, just... It's a small town, I guess. Sounds like it. I don't know. But he went to the gym where she worked. He would ride his bike around town. She's seen him around, chatted with him. But it was really hot outside that day. And he stopped at her door. I don't know how he knew that's where she lived, but he stopped, rang the doorbell. Can I have some water? Probably. But then her phone started to ring. So she said, yeah, come on in. And she went to answer it. On her way, she grabbed some Kleenexes to wipe up her blood from her foot because she stepped on that tack. She's tracking blood around walking. Mm-hmm. So when she went, she picked up the phone to answer it, and that's when Victor tased her 3 times.
God damn.
Yep. So she said, yeah, come on in. And as she went to answer her phone, he tased her 3 times. Guess she put up a fight.
That's why you offer bottled water, not tap.
Bottled water. There's a bucket
He was
on
offended. He was offended by tap.
I want that Kokomo tap water.
We know what's in that Indiana tap water.
Mm-hmm. But he had a handgun as well, and he told her he was robbing her.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's...
And his bicycle.
I mean...
Whatever you could fit on there and take, I guess.
But she knows who he is. Like...
Uh-huh. That's when you know it's going to go bad before you.
Yeah, this is not going to go right.
Like, I can identify you. I know who you are.
Yeah.
So.
Word to the wise, if anybody you know says they're robbing you, they're not planning on you living.
No. Don't tell nobody later I'm robbing you, but I'm robbing you. But he told her that he's taking her with him and dropping her off in the country somewhere so that she can't call the police.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he said.
That's what he said.
He's going to take a car, drop her off somewhere, and she can't call the police.
Until she gets home later.
But like you said, she knows who he is, so she can always call later. This is just
stupid.
So this was like red flags all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
He stole some clothes from her house and dressed up as a woman so that no one would see him leave with her. They wouldn't be suspicious of 2 women leaving, getting in the car instead of a man dragging a woman to the car.
It looks different when a woman's dragging a woman to the car.
So he put on her clothes.
Less suspicious that way. Huh?
Mm-hmm. And put her in the trunk of her own car.
Yeah, that's not suspicious
that's not
at all.
That's not suspicious one bit.
I mean, if you look out your window and you see a man put a woman into the trunk of a car, you're like, I might want to call the police on this. But if you see a woman putting another woman into a trunk of a car, you're like, it's a Friday.
She was getting tired of her.
This isn't just another day.
They were fighting over some Target items. Oh. But her mother returned home from work and saw that the garage door was open. So she called her husband and said, "Why the hell did you leave it open?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" So he said, "I haven't been home." So she called him, yelling at him, "Why'd you leave the door open?" He said, "Woman, I ain't been home. Don't know what you're talking about." Anita was supposed to meet her grandparents for lunch, but she never showed up. And so when her mom got home and her dad came home because the garage is open, you know, thumbs up, they noticed there's blood on the kitchen floor.
From a tack.
Yep, because she was going to clean it up. She stepped on tack. She didn't make it to the cleaning part. That's when her parents realized she was missing, and they contacted the police immediately, and the police jumped into action.
Huh.
Anita's glasses and contacts were both missing, as well as her car. So they know that she can't drive without her glasses or her contacts. So they're like, well, her car's gone, her glasses, her contacts are gone. Maybe
she just left. But the blood makes us think something might have happened.
Yeah.
So stepping on that thumbtack may have helped her
Helped her in the
situation.
long run. Don't cuss at yourself when you step on a tack. You never know.
It could be fate.
It could be fate
Trying to save your
intervening.
life.
Meanwhile, Victor had pulled into the garage of a house and then brought her into a house.
That doesn't sound like the country.
That don't sound like the country to me either. He told her that, quote, he had needs, and that's why I took you.
Oh, I thought he was going to say, wait right here, I'm going to the bathroom. We're still going to the country. I just need to make a potty
pee
stop.
real quick. No. And that's when he proceeded to rape her.
Wow.
Yes. The attention to missing Anita led Victor to move her farther away. So he noticed that she got a lot of attention fairly quickly. She's missing. There's some blood on the floor.
Yeah.
They were on to him. So he decided to load her up and move her farther out of town.
Okay.
He drags her to his truck. He leaves her car in the garage, shuts the door, gets in his truck with her, and then he heads to Wisconsin.
Oh. She
Yeah.
took a ride.
Yeah. He said maybe they won't find her over here.
I don't know where Kokomo is in Indiana, but
That's
about the Indianapolis area up into Wisconsin is going to take you about 6 hours. So
he was a...
I'm just saying that's a drive. Depending, it's at least 6 hours, or well, it depends.
Well.
Kokomo could be closer, I guess. I don't know. We'd have to look that up. But anyway,
You gotta also add this into it. He made her sit right beside him in the front of the truck, and he took all country roads.
oh, that's going to take even longer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He never hit the highway. He took the back roads. So as the cops were asking neighbors, have you seen anything? What's going on? A neighbor mentioned they saw Victor walking toward Anita's house earlier that morning. So somebody saw him.
Okay, so Kokomo is north of Indianapolis. So, I mean,
Still a decent hike.
that's still a hike. I'd say that's still 5 hours to Wisconsin at least.
Back road wise.
Back road wise, that's going to be even longer. That's going to be like 7 hours.
Oh. But police took a drive to the fitness center to interview some coworkers, see if they know anybody that was hanging around, showed too much attention to her, anything like that. She mentioned any love affairs. But some coworkers mentioned that there was one member that came to the gym that used to stalk workers from the center.
Oh, Lord. I told you he's a stalker.
Yep, he stayed after hours and he hid in a room, and the worker knew he was there, so she called the police. And she gave them the name Victor. So she knew Victor Steele, yeah.
Victor
They
Steele.
gave him his name. The police did a background check on Mr. Victor. He served 10 years in jail due to an unrelated sexual assault in 1985.
Oh.
So they kind of put 2 and 2 together here. Neighbor saw a fella walking in. Jim said this guy likes to stalk us.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of connected the dots.
They're like, that's fucking Victor. We know who that is.
There's Victor. So the FBI was called in to help. But Victor took her to a house and told her the house was in the middle of nowhere. He said, we're out in the middle of who knows where. There's nobody around.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's us. He said he wanted a girlfriend. And he kept her in a box in the house. Like locked her up in a box.
Huh.
So he would let her out of that box in the morning to go to the bathroom. Then he would rape her. Then he would want to play board games. And he'd do like the affectionate little kissy stuff. Then he'd rape her again. Then he stuck her in a metal cabinet.
The fuck?
And that's where he kept her. Until repeat.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Nothing like a good board game after a rape.
No, right? Want to play some Monopoly?
No, it was sorry.
Sorry. During her times out of the box, she can watch a movie or read. Or play board games, whatever. He fed her, but she didn't eat a lot. Because, you know, who would?
No, I mean, she probably dealing with a lot mentally from all that. And probably in shock. And, yeah.
But the police went to Victor's home. That's the first spot. I guess he took her.
Yeah.
And discovered that his mother owned the house. So his car, there was another car there that was for sale that was his, and his mom said he moved but wouldn't tell the police where he moved to. She's like, yeah, he moved out, but she wasn't telling him where. Damn you. Police found out Victor had a credit card. So they pulled his credit card transactions, and he saw he purchased gas in Wisconsin. They're like, there he is.
He went down.
So they quickly headed that way. Yep. So, of course, following his credit card transactions, they made it to this town up in Wisconsin, kind of did stakeout. And that's when a police officer saw Victor hop into the truck at I don't know if he was out getting food or store somewhere. And they're like, hey, there he is. They hop in a truck. So they're like, we're going to follow that truck.
Mm-hmm.
So they follow that truck right up to the house. And wait.
Wow.
Yep. Seen him go in. And then they just kind of waited and monitored him. He ended up going in, and he told her that he had to leave again, and if she yelled that he would kill her.
Yeah.
And he's used to this testing her. So she thought that it was going to be another test.
Yeah.
But it goes back to one day she said she could see a woman outside planting flowers next door when she went to the bathroom, but the windows had bars on them.
Okay.
So she couldn't yell, get any help. But so he set up a little test where he would say, I'm leaving, and he'd just go and open the door and then shut it, but still be standing there to see if she'd yell or bang or make any noise, because there's neighbors right out there.
Yeah.
So he knew there was somebody close, because he told her they're out in the middle of nowhere. But obviously if there's a bathroom window and she could see a lady planting flowers, they're not in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So now he was just testing her, make sure that she wasn't going to yell. So she heard police pounding on the door. But of course, she's used to him testing her. So she's like, I'm not going to yell or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But this was on Clinton Street. I didn't mention that. But it was on Clinton Street. The police were parked out there just watching him. And they waited for him to leave, and then they were knocking on the door. Because, of course, when he was leaving, they wanted to jump him, grab him.
Yeah.
They're like, if she's not in this house, then we need to follow,
Yeah.
see where else he could have kept her. So we need to keep an eye on him without freaking him out. So I think some officers were following him, and others said, we're going to check out this house.
Okay.
So that's when they knocked on the door. And of course they didn't get a response, so they were coming on in. Victor, on the meanwhile, took a trip to do some shopping at a lumber store. They thought he was trying to build a coffin for her.
Oh, shit.
So he went, some cops followed him all the way to the lumber store. And then they followed him back to his house, deciding whether to let him make it back inside or not. So they pulled him because he was heading back to the house, and so they're debating, should we let him go all the way to the house, or should we stop him before he gets there because they're still wandering through his house checking stuff out. So they decided to pull him over, and they brought him to the police station for questioning. During the interview, Victor told them that he slept in his truck trying to keep the knowledge of his house a secret. He's like, I don't have a house. I sleep in my truck.
They're like, we just saw you come out of this fucking house.
They're like, yeah, sure. So while they're interviewing him, the FBI and the police were searching his house.
Yeah.
She can hear a man say, quote, first room is clear. So she's like, okay. Kind of doesn't sound like him, but she thought it could be another trick.
Yeah.
They came upon the room that she was in. She was locked in this metal box. And the police walked in that room, and they saw there's a cabinet laying on the floor. A metal cabinet laying on the floor, and it was locked shut. So they assumed there was a body in there. Since she was so quiet, because she was scared
Yeah.
it was a trick, they thought, oh my God, her body's in there. Because it was 8 days. She's been missing for 8 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they assumed that she was gone. So the police snapped the lock and then opened it up, and they were shocked that she was not that she was alive.
Yeah.
And of course it scared the shit out of her, but instantly that she was like out of that cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
The police carried her out of the house. Her feet never hit the ground. Like, she jumped up into that cop's arms and they never put her back down. But there's the house. Looks like they were digging up concrete to probably seeing if there's anybody else he's had before back there. But
Yeah.
looks like they're tearing up his back concrete patio and digging around. But that's the
That's
house.
a big house.
It is. It was a big house. Looks, from all the ladders and stuff, I don't know if he was working on it.
Yeah.
Maybe. And that's the house. Inside the house, police find a book of names for potential targets with workplace names, descriptions, schedules, and etc. So he had notes on different people
Damn.
he was stalking. So she came home on July 3rd, and her friend's wedding was July 4th. So she was rescued and came home the day before her friend's wedding. So she got
Damn.
to see her friend's wedding.
Huh.
But damn. Go through that and been like, ugh. But Victor wanted to be his own counsel at his trial.
Of course he did.
He's like, I can handle this. Of course, he seems like the guy. There's his arrest picture of him at the police station. But he said, I can handle my own. And he wanted to be able to question Anita because, why not aggravate her some more?
Oh, yeah.
But of course, either way, it didn't end up for him. He was his own counsel. Cancel. He should be canceled. His own counsel. But despite that, the jury found him guilty. And he ended up being sentenced to life plus 25 years.
Well.
Yeah, because they're like, sure. So there's the newspaper article. Still found guilty on all charges. So it wasn't just partial charges. They're like, yeah, okay. Every
that
charge they
motherfucker
threw at
did
him.
it.
Yeah.
He guilty.
No, he must have sucked as a counsel.
Yeah.
Like,
His counsel.
cancel. But I saw an episode on TV covering this case. It was season 2, episode 2 of Surviving Evil
Oh, okay.
that covered this case. And that's Anita. She did an interview on the show, so that's her more recent photo. There's also multiple books about the case. That's one of them, 8 Days in Darkness. Because, again, she stayed in that cabinet 8 days.
Mm-hmm.
So she went through some shit. In fact, when I was searching this case, a lot of the first sites that popped up were this book. So I don't know how to...
So I'm looking at the book, and it says that the 2 authors on this book, one is Anita herself, the other one is an Angela, what is that, Rogner?
Yeah.
I'm looking at those credentials after her name. She is a therapist. So she's probably Anita's therapist.
That's possible. But this book's very popular, and it's...
LCSW, licensed social worker.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I noticed Anita, but
So
I was like, oh,
that's
who that
probably
really
her
is.
therapist.
Possible, but it was a detailed account of her 8 days of hell, and I've heard it's a very interesting book. But her mother passed away March 7th of 2017, and her dad passed away April 25th of 2022. So, but at least
At least they got to see her back.
yeah,
and-
they knew that she made it back, and that's her. And she's holding her own missing poster. That was about her. Yeah. So even despite all she went through, she lived. I don't think he ever did confirm or deny if he was buying wood to make her a coffin or whatever.
Did they ever find anybody else, any bodies or anything?
Nope. They didn't find anyone, just that book of other names.
So plans or
Plants,
people
yeah.
he
So I
was
think
checking out?
she may have been his first. I'm sure he was kidnapped.
Well, he had another case prior. You said,
first
so.
thing. Yeah, but I mean her first
But, like,
kidnapping.
kidnapping,
probably
like-
going to rape, kill her, and
Yeah.
then go to pick another victim out of his book.
Yeah.
He didn't make it that far, thankfully, because he sucked the first time as counsel and
As
whatever.
counsel,
As a
cancel.
human being, as counsel,
He-
a human being,
all
and
the way
got
around.
busted. But there you go. That's some Indiana Kokomo police work there.
Well, that's one
Caught
time the
him.
police did something semi-right there.
Yeah. and I thought that's a clever, because the restrained from seeing him, and they're like, pounce on him. They waited to follow him, be like, let's make sure that,
Yeah.
you know, where he's going, just in case she's not in there, and that's his friend's house or something.
True. Yeah.
So it was a good idea to say, you two go in there and check. We're going to follow him. You know, clever.
Yeah.
Some police departments would have been like, would have just like, yeah, arrested him and never even looked in the house.
Some police departments would be like, must have been suicide.
And some like must have
There's
been
blood on the
suicide.
floor.
There's a padlock on the outside of the cabinet.
Suicide.
But thankfully she survived.
Yeah.
Can't imagine. She's scared to death, but she made it. She got to go back to her parents. They got to know that she's safe and fine. She got to see her friend's wedding,
Yeah.
be there. So all besides what happened to her is a good, happy ending for her.
Yeah. I would
She made
assume, based on, like I said, that the therapist helped her write that book. I'm sure she's in doing some therapy after what was done to
gosh.
her.
Definitely. But hopefully she's doing a lot better.
Yeah.
It's been at 98, so hopefully she's
Well, I'm sure there's
on the
still
up and
some
up. Yeah.
trauma and triggers and things.
But hopefully she's... I didn't get an update, anything, if she's married, kids, anything like that. But I hope she's doing fine. I hope he's not doing fine.
Hope somebody's raping him.
Yep. I hope somebody's raping him and playing Monopoly with them when they're done. But that's all I got for Anita. Nobody died this one.
Well, that's just unusual.
I know. We did a couple where they survived. One
It's
lady
still
survived with no arms. but
Yeah, it's still unusual though.
It is. It is.
Yeah, that one that had her throat cut.
Where her head, she's
And her
staring
head
at
was
this,
flipped
God,
backwards.
I don't know how she lived.
She ended up surviving too.
I don't
We
know
don't
how.
usually have survivors, but when we do,
We do. They're fighters. I tell you.
Yeah. Wow.
Right. And the luck, because I'm like researching this, and she's like, I thought it was a test. So I was staying quiet. I was like, if those cops turn around and walk out because no one's answering, I would be
Well,
so
she
mad.
ain't here.
Hello? No one's home. All right, we're out. No. I've been like,
Clear.
Really? The fact that they're like, maybe we should open that cabinet. I'm like, thank you. Please open it.
Wow.
I'm sure I'd like to see that officer's face, and he popped it open, and then she's looking right
Like,
back at
son
him.
of a bitch.
Found her.
Yeah, I bet he was surprised.
And she probably popped out there like a jack in the box too, I'd say.
Probably scared the shit out of him.
Probably did. He thought he was getting attacked. I don't blame her. I'd be like, officer. I've been wrapped around him. I'm like, we're together now. I'm not separating from you.
We're one now.
Been through hell.
We're one now.
Her feet never touched the ground until she got outside, so she was up his back and wrapped around him like, no.
Your personal space is mine now.
Yeah, 6 feet my ass. You're carrying me all the way back home because I ain't leaving your sight. I don't blame her. I'm like,
Yeah.
That was a rough one, but yay. So it's good. She survived.
Yeah, that's awesome. We don't get those. So
I know. You're like,
well, all right.
not
Somebody
bad.
finally
survived. No
survives,
children were
gets
harmed in
away.
the filming of this
No
podcast.
kids, yeah.
So it was good.
Yeah, that's a lot better. That's one that it has a full conclusion, so we're not like, wow, we're not like sitting here like with all these questions, and like it has a completion and it's a happy ending at the end.
You're not yelling at nobody.
This never happens.
Police, I know.
We get. I mean, all the cases are horrible, but we never get to a happy ending at the end
Where they made it.
and everything like finishes. It's complete.
But that's all I got.
All right.
Anything new with you?
No, just shitty books.
Just shitty books. I thought it was all right.
What's funny is we've read other books, and I've always read it all the way through and gave a review. Even if I didn't really like it, like I finished it and it was like, it was okay.
Pushed through.
The last book, I got a good way into it, and I was like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not saying it was horrible. I just wasn't feeling it. That was the previous book. So I didn't even give that review a bad review. I just said I personally wasn't feeling it. Other people could feel it just fine. I just wasn't. This one, 10 pages in, and I was like, this is stupid.
He was.
I
was like, where are you at in the book? He's like, I quit.
This is ridiculous. I'm not reading it. Like I said, even on the other one that I just wasn't feeling, I didn't give the author a bad review. This one, I'm giving a bad review. I'm giving a straight up, you need to learn it. You need a new profession. That's how bad it is.
So we're not going to read the series?
Hell no. And what's crazy is, wasn't this on TikTok as people were like recommending the book? Horrible. I don't know what you people are thinking, but it is the most...
Not for you.
It's not even believable. The first 10 pages, there's a conversation. I'm like, this makes no sense.
True.
Like, the fact that it makes no sense shows that the person doesn't know how to write. You don't know how to write a dialogue, people talking, like, this is horrible. Without going too deep into it, right? I mean, I'd have to explain what I mean with... Okay, here's an example, and this is not from the book, but let's say two people are talking, and somebody says, I'm going to tell you this huge secret. And you're like, okay. Yeah, well, that's a little side piece. But let's just say two people are talking, and one says, I'm going to tell you this huge secret. And this person's like, okay, go ahead and tell me. And they're like, now the thing about secrets is they're hard to tell and blah, 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 blah. And they go on and on and on, and they never get to the actual secret. And then the person you're talking to, or the person that's hearing all this, says, you're brave for telling me that. What? You never said it. You literally just talked about how
hard it was.
You never gave the secret. You pussyfooted around it, and then I'm supposed to be like, wow, you are brave for coming to me with that. It's just stupid. Now, that's not what happened in the book exactly, but it's kind of around the same...
Which is weird because I got it and I comprehended it.
I got where they were going with it, but for the guy to be like, my God...
See, I think
how brave you are. I'm like, this is stupid. She never... Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if it was from, like, you know how it's point of view. Like, in the head, I knew the secret, so when she's you know? I just automatically knew, so it didn't catch it. But you're so literal. You're like, she didn't say nothing
She
to
didn't
him.
say,
How does he know?
And then on top of that, after they don't tell you the secret, you're like, I really want to fuck her though. Like, seriously? All I got from this was let's have this conversation that's meaningless and has no point, just so we can get to this I want to fuck her part. Like, so I was like, this book is dumb.
Yeah, he quit.
I don't mind people wanting to fuck in the book, and I don't mind some fucking in the book, but make it make sense. I mean, when I watch porn, I want a story. I don't want just straight to the sex. I mean, I'm not in for compilation scenes. I want a storyline. I want to know why they're fucking. I want to know why I want to know why he came over to fix her water heater. I mean, I need to know these things.
Did she find him on Craigslist? Like, what happened?
I need to know the backstory. We're not going straight into the money shot.
She saw out walking around.
We're not going straight into the money shot. We're not doing a compilation. I want to see what happened.
You want a movie.
I do. And this did not have that. This went straight to this pointless conversation. And then, I really do want to fuck her, though. Okay. I mean, I get it. But anyway. Yeah.
So that was, yeah.
So you'll probably rehear the same conversation, but in more detail about the actual book, because I will explain exactly what was said on this TikTok, because it was stupid. It was just plain stupid. So yeah. Anyway.
Tune in tomorrow.
Tune into that book talk.
That ass ripping.
Oh my God.
And then we'll get to the horror genre and see if
we'll see if that one's good. Most of them like I said, most of the books we've read, I've gotten all the way through them, and I either really liked them or thought they were okay. Like, there's never been a book we've read that I've gotten all the way through. I've been like, that was shit.
True.
Even the one I didn't finish last time, I didn't say was shit. It was just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
This one was shit.
Because I'm not even finishing it.
And the premise of the story would have been good.
It would have, it's a good storyline.
I mean, it would have been good, and it was one of those, like, smut books, so, like, that smut, that storyline of smut would have been like, damn, that could have been good. Like, I could have popped some boners with this one. had I got the backstory I needed.
He had some character building there.
Yeah, I need
interaction.
I need to connect with the characters before I stroke.
Oh God.
I can't get hard unless I know the characters well.
This is why I get texts from my mother all the time. What kind of podcast do you have? What's this book talk thing? Wes gets so excited about it all the time.
He's just so mad that this one just didn't give him the boner he was expecting.
I heard so much anger as he discussed his boners on this podcast. I was so confused. So was he about this book?
I was. There was no way I was finishing the book or what I needed to do.
The book or what? Oh, gosh. Well, we're getting blocked by this author.
I don't give a shit.
It's like,
what's that author's name? Because, yeah. Call her out on the fucking podcast.
Who is she? I don't know.
Anyway. So, yeah, wait for that podcast, and then you two can not read that book.
Or they probably already read it if it's all
probably
over
already did.
talk.
It's probably one of these, you know what? Somebody will be watching this and be like, I actually recommended that book. And be like, yeah, you're an idiot too.
It wasn't the best book I read, but I thought, oh, it's okay. I wouldn't read it again. But I was like, I survived. You're like, no.
I'm sorry. It's just, yeah.
I think I just like the storyline idea more than
the
anything.
idea is a good idea.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this will be good.
But
and I'm like, yeah, it's all right.
As soon as you get to that scenario, it ruined it. It ruined it for me. I just couldn't get past it. I'm like, That's just laziness. No. If she did, all right, if the person didn't give you the secret, right, you'd be like, man, I really need to know her secret. Like, get into that. Not like, damn.
Maybe one day she'll be comfortable and tell me.
That I would have went with.
Yeah.
But to act like the secret was already given and you're just thinking she's so damn brave for telling you when she never told you is just stupid. Ain't no way I'm getting a boner after that.
She can't even hold a conversation.
Nah.
Nah.
I would have been too preoccupied to get a boner with all that whatever that damn secret was that never was told.
It's like, what's the secret? Yeah, you're cute, but what's the secret?
Anyway, feel free to like and subscribe.
They're like, now?
Yeah, now.
After this.
If you'd like me to find a book that really I can get past and get that boner, like and subscribe. Anyway, yeah, like and subscribe. Feel free to check us out at loveandluminol.com, where you can find a list of all of our audio and video links, as well as a contact form if you want to bitch us out about my boner. Or if you're this author, that'd be great. You can also find us at all social media except for X, pretty much, at Love and Luminol on all of those. Those links are also at the website. Anything else you want to add?
Not that I can think of. Thoughts out to Anita. And I can't follow up after that. Thoughts out to Anita. She went through hell, strong-ass woman. Sorry for the loss of her parents. Glad that they got that closure, that she was safe and got to come home before their time came. But
Definitely.
Still, so sorry for the loss of your parents. And I hope you're doing fine now. I hope you're on the up and up. And just saying, majorly strong woman. So.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
All right, that's all I got.
All right.
I can't even look you guys in the eye anymore.
Well, I can't because I'm looking at what she's doing on the computer right now. She is actually looking up that book. So now I know the author's name again. And I'm looking at her face because there's a picture on their screen. And I'm not going to say your name because you can watch the book talk if you really need to say it. But just having it right here just makes me want to say it. But I'm not going to. Oh, boy. Yeah, there's more.
There's more. There's a series. It's a series.
She got a whole series of that nonsense?
Yeah, remember he had brothers.
Oh, Lord. Anyway.
Anyway.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time.
All right, see ya.
Bye. Ain't no way I'm getting a boner after that.